All right, well, welcome back for part two of a podcast of the recent Brewster free agent signings. Randy Weigand and Fred Holmes are back with me, Ted Schmidt, and this will cover the Frick League signings.
We're in the Frick now. We're going to start with the Heartland and Des Moines, who I thought needed bullpen help. I thought they needed to get a little bit better in starting pitching somewhere. I thought they needed a first baseman, which makes their Moreland trade even more curious, even though I know he was down last year. I thought they needed an infielder that could hit.
He didn't really get any of those things.
Des Moines?
He did.
You asked me.
Draper.
Ted,
Draper.
You asked me, Ted, if my favorite, or if that was my favorite free agent signing. Nope.
Gonzaga?
Rocky.
I think it's good.
Big old contract.
Well, it's only 10-10, 8-8, and I think he's one of the underrated players in the league.
Yeah.
And put it this way,
he doesn't look pretty.
Rocky is making half of what Chang is.
Right, and I would way rather have this guy, right? He can legitimately play center field. He won't be one of the best there, but you could play him in center. I believe Jacksonville's been playing him in a corner spot.
He's been winning
him in right.
He's been winning Zimmers and right.
He's been winning Zimmers and right and putting up
4 out of the last 5.
Yeah.
And or some of those, I think some of those are center field Zimmers from Vancouver, but
he's a 3-win player. He can put up 4 in a good year, but he's a legitimate 3-win player. He's just one of those guys where the colors of his bars don't excite you.
Yeah, and we've always said our criticism of Des Moines the last few years has been they have all these glove guys that can't hit.
I know.
Well, they at least tried to get guys that can hit.
Yep. I like Draper. I think the Draper deal's good, right? I don't know how their infield's going to shake out because Manny Montañez did not work out last year. I still think he looks like he should be better than what he was last year. He hit pretty well in San Antonio, and 8I 9 AVK is something. I don't really care that his contact is 5.8. That's he should be able to hit a little better than this. I don't think he's ready to go. Hardy's got a good enough glove that he should be in there somewhere. Garza, I think, peaked in the year he was traded, but he's so bad defensively at third that.
Is he going to play Draper at third, I think?
I would
play Draper at third.
I hope he plays Draper at third, because he'll be a Gold Glove third baseman, or Zimmer third baseman, and he can hit still.
Let me see where he's got him at in spring training.
He doesn't. He doesn't, because he was just signed, so we can't see yet.
Well, he's just on his bench.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
Oh, there he is. So I don't know how this is going to shake out, but I thought Draper was in overpay even by free agency standards, but I give Ed credit for recognizing that he needs guys that can actually hit the baseball. I don't think he's in overpay. I think 12, 15, the 15's an over. I think the 12 is reasonable. What I don't like in both of these deals is the opt-outs after 2 years. I think it's too soon. And if you're going to structure an opt-out there, put the expensive year after the opt-out.
Right.
Yeah.
Because the thing with Draper is he's going to be 32, and if he holds his ratings, the logic should dictate that he is definitely going to opt out to try and get that last big contract, right?
Right.
Oh, Fred, you think OOTP has logic?
I know, right? I try to apply it to it all the time, and it just makes my brain hurt.
Right. But change that, swap that deal around, make it 12, 13, 16, opt-out 16. Something where if you think he's going to play for, what they could do is they could play Draper at third and move Garza to first.
No, because they need Willie Carter to play first.
Carter's garbage. You think I think Carter's not very good. Garbage was the word that almost came out of my mouth.
It did come out of your mouth.
It did come out of your mouth.
I punched you out on a check swing right there.
Yeah. Carter's going to hit left-handed pitching, and he's going to be absolutely terrible for a first baseman. For a first baseman against right-handed pitching, he is going to be well below average.
So do you like it? So would you rather play Carter or Garza at third?
I would rather play Carter at third, I think. Just because of the error rating, I think you can't have shitty range and a shitty error rating and play third base. So what I would probably do is platoon Carter to mash left-handed pitching, because yes, Garza has 7. ostensibly worse ratings versus right? Like he's 7, 6,
But it's
5,
still
7.
better than Carter's.
Well, no, they're not by numbers, but he's batting from the left side of the plate. So his 7, 6, 5, his 7, 7, 6, 5, 7 are a left-handed batter 7, compared to the righty on righty matchup, which OTP it either over advantages the lefty versus righty or hurts righty versus righty too much, but it doesn't. I don't know. Carter, I think there's a lot of trapped first basemen like Carter, where you think that he should be decent, and I don't think he will be.
And then you're forgetting your boy Ted. We got one more signing that Des Moines made.
I'm okay with it. At first, I was kind of like, why do they even need him?
You could do worse for 2 1/4.
Well, if he puts Gonzaga in center, because I don't think Craig White is ready. So if
White has a major league deal, I think, though, so he might have to be ready.
Oh, well, if he puts Gonzaga in center and then platoons Brunskill and Guerra, I think that's not a bad left field.
And Brunskill's a decent fourth too, just to fill it here and there.
He's a nice injury,
And you could do, like I said, for 2 1/4. I mean, we've seen that spent a lot.
Badly needs Long Chamberlain to bump that power in spring.
Yeah, and White's got options, so I would be surprised if he's in the majors.
Yeah, so I think the Brunskill signing's okay. I am saddened that Brunskill has stopped being a good player so early in his career. I mean, he's only 28 now, and he was at one point he had like 9 splits against righties, which is incredible to look at where he is now. So I thought this was a good free agency. I thought Des Moines did a good job. I don't know if you guys have any other ideas about that.
I have no argument with that.
Yeah.
I just don't know if it's enough in the Heartland.
Yeah. The Heartland's going to look a little different this year, though, huh?
Yeah.
Madison, speaking of Heartland teams.
Elroy.
First of all, there's no way that option gets picked up, right?
The team option, no, not a chance.
No, yeah. Madison has a lot of needs. I honestly don't know what Wilson's doing.
My comment for this one was, it's a win now move for a team that's not ready to win now.
Right. That's kind of what I feel. And I know that I thought he needed a hitting up. He needed so much starting pitching. Like, I think we talked about this before, right? Like, where he tried a strategy to go for a park that suppresses home runs and see if he could, then use a bunch of low motion pitchers.
Which is, a worthwhile gamble. Good on him for...
It hasn't worked, and he's locked into that now, and I just think he needs to blow it up and start over.
He sold out too hard on it.
Yeah.
But if it had worked, he'd have picked up all those guys for cheap. I mean...
Right.
I said, it was worth... But then, at the same time, you're gambling with the prime of Mick and Rader on a park that...
Well, I think Mick's probably almost out of his prime.
Well,
I always forget how old he is.
But he was in it when he made the move, though. You know what I mean? He was square in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. He lost. What did he lose? Point of contact, definitely. So yeah, sad.
But do you know what he gained? A lot of money in his bank account.
Sure did. Sure
you want
did.
to talk about not wonderful infields?
Defense wise?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Burrell's good.
Burrell,
Short.
but he can't hit at all. Although, where's Jared Thieler's got to play somewhere, right?
Yep.
Is he going to go back to Rader at first and Mick DHing, or is he?
I think he said he was going to move Rader back to second.
Oh, because what was the rookie that he had that he brought up?
Burrell.
Yeah, Burrell has to play, and I agree. Burrell's got to play somewhere. Although he'd be better off. Mick's a pretty good defender too, isn't he? Well, you could DH. It doesn't matter which one of those two you DH.
I'd DH Mick because Burrell's got a 9 error.
Yeah, I would too, but it's probably a slight difference, right? And his outfield's still okay. Garcia's, that's okay, not a great glove, but he'll play in left, and I like Moreno a good deal. There's a guy named John Dundee.
My boy John Dundee.
He's got Dempsey still in right.
Dempsey, there's a problem.
That guy's a disaster in right, yeah.
Yeah, Dempsey needs to be the DH.
And he has Luis Maldonado. Oh, wait, no, he traded him for Jordan Nunez and Albert Thanks, Wilson.
That's cruel, man. Oh my God, does he need to trade people outfielders? How is he? You can't play Dempsey and Lance Robinson and Dundee and wow, he's got some.
You traded outfielders. You traded one to me.
The wrong one. Should have kept and Machiavelli. Jeez, Chris, you got some redundant parts.
I want Machiavelli. I want him bad.
Yeah,
I mean, the best outfielder is Moreno. I don't think there's much of a question there.
No, it's Moreno.
I thought you were disagreeing with me. I was like, really?
Yeah, no, I'm not disagreeing. We haven't talked about Elroy Hinson at all.
Nope.
I mean, he's fine for if you're looking to win in the next 2 years. That's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Moving on.
Omaha is usually the team signing a bunch of people, but I think they've just kind of matured to where they don't need to do that anymore, right?
Nope.
Like,
Well,
do
they have any money left after signing Morales for all of the money?
They have $22 million in budget space or in cap space.
Huh.
Yeah, like they could have. This is another one though where I don't think it's a bad idea for them to not spend because they didn't. They're not like Rockville.
They either do 1-year deals or they don't do anything.
All of his guys, every single one of them is hitting ARB next year, though. His projected cap next year is 120.5.
Holy shit. Well.
Yikes. So good job not signing anybody.
Justin's got some work cut out for him. That's
he'll find. I mean, he's shown though that he'll find a way to make it work.
He'll work it out. He's a smart guy. He'll get it done. Yep. He won't sit on it and not do anything. He'll do something.
And if he doesn't, it won't be because he didn't try. Like,
well, I mean, if he doesn't do anything right, he's going to have to cut like half his team. So,
well, he already blocked like Barajas and somebody else that was decent too. So, it'll be fine. Hey, look at that! Jimmy Starks Jr. developed all the way.
Hey-o.
That'll be exciting to see what happens there. Although he lumped enough that he's not a center fielder anymore, and that made me sad because he used to. I think he used to have like 9 or even close to 10 right.
Yeah, so I'm interested that you said you could play Rocky, you could play Gonzaga at center field, but you can't play Starks at center field.
So there's a weird,
it's an interesting distinction.
There is. It's range. It's all range. Like there's
Gonzaga's only got 8 range though.
Yeah, and it's 8's where the magic happens. There's guys with 8 that can be like 8 and 9 in center field, and there's guys with 8 that are 6. It's like from the top of 8 to the bottom of 8 is like 3 fucking points of center field, and it's ridiculous. I hate it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that drives me nuts. So Starks can play center field,
and if not, he's shortstop. So
his bat is so damn good that the best idea might just be to play him in center field and take this slightly below average defense.
Yeah, just eat it.
Yeah, because it's not bad. He won't be bad there. It's just you and I both prefer to have that. You know, you were just talking about your erection about Machiavelli. We just like that guy. That's just stupid good in center field.
For the record, I didn't say anything about my erection. You invented that whole conversation in your head. So.
You said you were pretty excited about him.
I said I wanted him bad. I didn't say shit about an erection.
The question comes down to...
You know you had one. You know that you look at that 12 defensive center field rating.
For Starks, do you have a better option at shortstop or at center field? Because he can play...
He's got somebody that's
short.
You got
Harlan Moore at short.
Yeah.
Okay, so then there's your answer. You can play Starks in center.
Yeah. So I don't know. They signed Rafael Morales. Speaking of the free agent pod we're doing.
Speaking of Morales,
they're paying Morales $3, and is he really any better than the $1.5 million, $2 million guys floating around this league right now?
No.
No, but he's not bad. There's some worse ones that were done. I can't find Rafael Morales right now, so I'm just talking to Phil
966.
Oh, there he is. He just got signed. You know what, though? He is 10.76 against righties. He has not pitched well recently. Yeah, that's kind of odd. Okay. Yep. Whatever. Didn't hurt himself much, though.
No, I mean, and it's 1 year, so they didn't bite into their $120 million budget.
Right. Twin Cities needs a lockdown reliever, and they need starters.
Wasn't any starters.
Garcia was a lockdown reliever in 2035.
Yeah, I don't. Now he's a loogie, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. He got great in 2035. He got hurt. This is a deal, and it's amazing we went this long, Ted, without bringing this up.
Garcia was his own guy last
year.
Team options. Which Steven brought up a good point. team options can cost you comp picks if you decline them.
That was
which
wrong.
is true.
It's both of them.
However,
but this
what are
guy's
the
not going to
odds
get a
that
comp
fucking
pick.
Jose Garcia hits the comp pick standard.
Yeah, I know. And Vasquez, I also kind of like. He's another Roogie, and he's going to be a good one. I don't know. These are okay. These are okay relief deals.
My question with Vasquez: how much of that success that he had, which he had a lot, was due to Brooklyn's pitching shenanigans?
Yeah, that's going to be the new thing. Nobody trusts a player coming out of Brooklyn. You don't know what the fuck they are.
Well,
that's what it is. The Cyclone is a bunch of shenanigans.
He only threw 28 innings last year. I mean, how do you even grade the guy?
Yeah,
I can't knock that. That's all my relievers throw, except for Miguel Macias. So
the note I made here is they've got about $10 million left. They spent about $4 million on these two guys. Would they have been better off just spending $6 million and getting a sure thing?
What sure thing bullpen guys?
Yeah, I was going to say.
Was there nobody?
There was Dylan Young was probably the best of the group, which
yeah, and he was probably okay last year. Probably just had one of those weird ERA, just had a ERA didn't really represent.
But I mean, if that's do you really want to pay Dylan Young $6 or $7 million?
Okay, that's fair.
Not even a little.
Yellow Springs.
He lost a lot of guys.
They did.
I
like the Lucas McNeil deal. I think he's one of the best players in the league, and I think that the way they structured it, if they weren't going to get those other players back, who gives a shit if you give them $40 million this year? If that's what it took, I think it's fine.
Well, and he also clearly had the cap room because he lost.
He lumped a point of contact this sim.
Oh, did he just do that? That's a dick move.
That's
Lucas
cruel.
McNeil.
That is cruel.
Oh, what a jerk! He's probably still fine, right?
Well, that's all right.
Well,
we know what the next 15 team newses will be about.
No. I don't know. We've already.
You'll have comments on it.
I hate that I know who Nicky Manning is, Ron.
Yeah,
you son of a bitch. I hate that I know who that is.
I don't even know. I don't know real life pop culture, but I know BBA pop culture.
I'm not gonna talk about her in a podcast ever again. I'm mad that I did it once.
She should come on our podcast and sing the national anthem to warm up for the Yellow Springs home opener.
So that's my new goal. Damn it! Now I'm going to talk about her all the time. That's why I've gone from not talking about.
You know what? We need Opie to meet Mickey.
I was just going to say.
I know. I'm still trying to figure out how to get somebody to do Offie on a pod. I can't. I can't fake it that long. I mean, I can do his voice if I probably get a little drunk and think about it really hard. I can do his cadence and the way he talks, but I can't get the voice right.
Your soul's too black to be that happy for that long.
Right. That's pretty much. I don't know. I can probably just do a bunch. I wonder if I could do a bunch of coke and then pull it off. Would that help?
Anyway,
probably shouldn't. Just for everybody, I don't do coke.
That's
you're Peoria. You prefer crack.
I actually do. Yeah, they don't even have coke in Peoria.
It's crack.
It's too high end. I'm next, right?
It's all meth up by me. So.
Well, I'm next.
Next.
Anybody? Well, we moved to the Pacific, right?
Okay.
The Pacific.
Yes.
I'm alphabetical within division.
Well, you didn't sign anybody, so there you go.
That's not true.
Boom.
You can't see minor league contract signings.
God.
That's true. I forgot that you.
Oh, I kicked ass. No, Fred, you're going to be I signed Fernando Farinha to a minor league deal, who is 9.76 versus lefties, and I now have a left-handed reliever, Steven.
I'm kind of upset that you converted Morales, by the way, because that guy was an innings eater extraordinaire.
Yeah, and I signed Jose Morales to he went 2-18 with a 6 ERA last year. I don't care how many innings that was.
Well, he was in Vancouver. That was the dumpster fire.
6 ERA. What did he have in Mexico? No, I'm sorry, that's the World Baseball Classic. It's in Mexico, and I got confused. It was the Baseball Classic. Dude, the guy has a...
Well, his ERA was 6.28 for Mexico.
Yeah,
so
his career ERA is 4.5 with an ERA plus of 95, and he's 32 years old. IRP converted him. I don't feel bad about doing that at all. And he's a minor league contract, but he's now a 10.68 reliever, so...
There you go.
I did sign people, Fred. I'm just saying people's names angrily now. The whole rest of the podcast is... I'm just going to start saying people's names who aren't even in the league. Nancy. Like just
Nancy.
You're just grumpy that I brought up Mickey.
a little bit.
Now you're taking it out on us.
Hawaii. We were talking about Hawaii signed some players.
Signed
Hawaii
everybody.
signed the entire damn league.
I was just excited to talk about Hawaii. That's why I just wanted to skip past you.
Mm.
He signed a whole pitching staff, like all of them.
And a bullpen.
Yep.
Just for
That's
shit.
what I said, a staff.
Do you like it? I don't know that I do.
No.
I like Bailey. I really like the Bailey deal. I
don't hate the Dylan Young deal.
I don't hate the Dylan Young deal. I think this is a team where if it doesn't work out, it doesn't hurt him too much.
Well, this is Mendez 2.0. Remember a couple years ago when we said why he's got like Bushky signing Mendez?
You know, though, they've got it. They can pitch now. Like they used to not have a pitching staff or an offense or people that could defend. And now they have a pitching staff. These guys can pitch.
I think Nunez is terrible.
Yeah, I don't know why you give Nunez money at all.
My comment for Nunez is he has more forks than a buffet. And the only thing he is good for at this point is his leadership of the pitching staff. That's it.
Target practice.
Yeah, Hawaii had other young pitchers. They had other good. So I don't know that they needed to sign a whole staff. That's why it's weird. Like they don't need Wick and Nunez and Juarez and Amaya and Tim Waller. There's not one of those deals outside of Nunez that I think is like pointless. Like all those guys have a role in it. The money they got, I think they're reasonable. I'm just wondering if they just take that $8 million and the $5 or so million you have left and spend it. So you can get like a $12 to $13 million player if there was somebody.
What there wasn't. There was $20 million players and there was $4 million players.
Yeah.
And then I like the
Guzman
Guzman signing.
I do like the Guzman one because it's cheap enough. Like if he was bitten any more than that, it'd be a bad deal. But
and it's a good guy for a rebuilding team. And Gowron sucks.
Yeah, the Gowron one's bad.
Gowron's terrible. I had him for like 5 minutes. He's fucking terrible.
If you were going to be
terrible.
If you're going to be a right-handed hitter,
wait for it, Fred.
The worst contact.
I'm waiting.
He's bad at baseball.
He's bad at baseball. He's smart though, so that's something.
He is intelligent, both on and off the field.
That's true. On and
Just
off.
can't figure out how to hit a baseball and not whiff at it.
Maybe he's actually blind.
You can't be a right-handed hitter with 7 contact and have your I plus AVK be 7. Like your I plus AVK needs to be higher than your contact. It just does. It's like when he hits the ball, it will be like I'm sure his BABIP is
substantial.
When he hits the ball, it will land in the mainland United States.
Right.
He's not going to hit it that often.
Yeah. What is his career BABIP? I bet you it's pretty high, like higher than you would expect for what he is. No, I'm sucking at splits right now.
BABIP, 309, 326. His career BABIP.
Yeah, his career BABIP is 350.
Yep.
That's incredible for a piece of shit that he is. Like whenever he makes contact with the ball, it's great. He just doesn't do it very often.
Robert Gowron aspires to be Rupert Grant.
That's horrid. I actually, if you told me I could have one of those two players this year, I would take Gowron.
Well, because you're paying him a third of the price
equal contracts. I'd still take Gowron. Gowron can play outfield. Rupert Grant he's in bad shape. This is also known as the make Dixon angry. We talk bad about Rupert Grant.
Terry Cochran does not deserve to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
So we're just getting a head start on his Hall of Fame vote.
Oh, and neither does Tony Franco.
No, sad.
Who else does he like a lot? No, I'm just kidding. I root for Cristobal Hernandez to get the Nebraska like every year. So
I like Cristobal Hernandez. I really like Cristobal Hernandez.
Long Beach needed a center fielder, like a real one, like one that actually is a center fielder.
Well, they got a defensive center fielder.
They did. They needed an impact bat, and they needed the starting pitcher. That again, the front end starting pitcher, and that wasn't going to happen.
Well, they got the bat and they got the center fielder.
I like Lynn, right? Like I think if he does like kind of a weird platoon, like Lynn always plays against lefties and then half the time against righties,
And as
sort
your
of thing.
defensive replacement, I still wouldn't. I didn't want to pay him that, and he played for me, and I like him a lot.
Lynn is an overpaid.
Lynn better with the bat than I thought. I thought he was like terrible with the bat, but he's actually like semi-useful.
I wonder if that's like almost a 5i and like almost a 9 AVK. Maybe he's fast as fuck. I mean, like he's okay. It's like $1.5 million more than I'd want to pay him. But
I like
can do
the Moreno
worse.
deal a lot.
Oh man, I don't know what that drop to 5 contact means. Like he was going back and forth between 5 and 6, but if that's like the legitimate, now he's down at low 5 contact. I don't know how much of it. I don't know if it's because his contact against lefties was never 5 before.
But also, I mean, it's 16.88 with that last year being a player option.
Yeah, it's so low risk. It's a good contract.
Because you figure it's at least going to hold up through this year, and then if the bottom falls out after that, then well.
Yeah.
But
that eye and the power should age well. Like even if the contact falls, that eye is going to at least keep him usable.
What's his park like?
It is a hitter's park. 10,
and
10,
homers,
40
average and homers for lefties are up a little. Not like mine, but yeah, Moreno probably okay there.
And then he signed 2 loogies.
He did, and that's fine because it's Lane. He only has loogie. His relievers never face batters from either side of the plate. They only do one or the other.
Yeah, so and I like Real a lot.
I know you do.
And did you see the 5th guy he signed?
Let's see if you can guess what my comment. It's 3 letters.
WTF?
Why? Yes. Why would you? What is he doing?
My comment was: is this 2037 or 2027?
That was 2037. He'd be getting $35 million to be a huge piece of shit. Now he just gets like $1.25 to just be fucking useless and terrible.
See, I was Baca by the time I entered the league was already known to be a piece of shit and gone.
Oh, like he was a big deal when he first came in.
Oh, yeah, he was me. I was the one.
I missed that.
But the player where I ruined the EBA. So the EBA used to have the Rule 6 draft where we could poach guys who had played X number of years in the EBA, and it was like the posting system. It was just the highest bid got the player. Or no, I'm sorry, it was a draft. There was a draft, but then you could bid over the draft, and the team that drafted had to match.
Well, you would draft him, and then they'd go in the FA pool, and then you would have the right of refusal, as the team that drafted him.
And so Yellow Springs drafted Baca. Well, this wasn't Ron. It was probably Al-Hoot.
Avery.
Yeah. We're pretty sure it was Al-Hoot, right?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, he posted a team news before he left that said he was Al-Hoot.
Oh, they then delete it because I never read that one.
Mm-hmm. It was all in lead.
See, I read the whole Avery. When I joined the GB, I got access to all those old
gotcha.
board posts. So I went back and actually because I'm like, why does this one have 100 fucking comments on it? It was all about the Avery thing.
So see, the thing is that guy was such a dick that he might have just pretended to be Hoot to be even more of a dick. So I don't know. It's
possible too.
So I wonder if he's seeing his 2036 AAA line and going, maybe this guy can still hit. I don't know. He's got to be a DH though, right? You can't put this guy in the outfield.
He's 100% a DH.
Yeah, he's a disaster in the field.
Okay, so we don't know why you did that, Stephen Lane. Why did you do that?
Fighting robots.
Maybe the robots did it. The robots took
you guys. So I almost. Do either one of you guys listen to the Flaming Lips at all?
No.
There's a song called Yoshimi Battles the Pink Robots. It's super trippy and weird, but it's there's lots of lines about fighting robots.
Stephen Lane's walk-up music.
Yeah, I almost edited that in. I was so tired I didn't do it. But, anyway, sorry. San Fernando didn't sign anybody.
Do I ever
try to sign Sandcastle though?
Because I signed them all.
Yeah,
you did sign them all, and I trade. We know this. I don't sign free agents. I trade.
Yeah. Yep. I have that you needed depth relievers that Fred signed.
Yeah, I was gonna say I tried to get them. Fred signed them all.
I done did it.
And I think you need a left fielder or corner outfielder because Sheldon Cooper's.
I'm trying to get that.
Speaking of forks,
who's got all the forks?
Well, Sheldon Cooper has some of Jody Nunez's forks, but you know what? They're left over from when Nunez was on your team. When he left some of his forks.
Ironically, I'm trying to sign a guy a decade older than Cooper.
Sweet.
Well,
Oh.
Valencia?
Why did they sign Ayala to a 4-year contract?
Why did they pay him $4 million?
Long-term contracts to middling relievers never end well. See Tommy Dietz.
I don't know that he's a middling reliever. He's had 1 ERA under 4 in the last 5 years.
He's a terrible reliever is what he is.
Right. And then Felix Alvarado, he signed for even more.
Which,
he's
a better pitcher, but is he going to be your closer?
There is no such thing as a $5 million reliever. Okay, I think that one of the things about, for me, I don't know if I'm going to go on a little rant here because that's
Miguel Macias, by the way, says, fuck your theory right now.
Say Esteban Velasquez.
No, it's not that that's too much. It's not that more than that is too much. It's that, the top tier guys want, sometimes 12, but, you can get them for 7 occasionally. If you're really lucky, you get them cheaper. But, there's tiers here. There's $2 million relievers. If you're paying, 3 to 4 to 5, somewhere in there, that, upper 3s to, 5 in free agency for a reliever, you're almost always paying too much for not good enough.
You're saying that there's, a gap between you're either worth 7 or more or 3 or less.
Right.
To answer your question, if I was Lee, I would have Alvarado as my closer.
That's a sad state of affairs.
The thing is, the reason I think this was bad, I think Valencia is I'm just going to skip, they're my official loser for free agency. They have $24 million left. There were good players. What Valencia really needs to be doing is trading, because they've got 2 really good left fielders, and they've got 2 really good third basemen. Not really good. The third basemen aren't as good as the left fielders, but they're good, and third baseman's a position a lot of teams are weak at. And they need to fix that. That's the first thing they need to do. But, they needed first base and shortstop. I don't know what you were going to do about shortstop. Those weren't easy, but
well, they traded Harlan Moore. They had a shortstop.
Yeah, this
Zalapa.
is just...
Zalapa is your shortstop. He doesn't need a shortstop.
Wait, can he actually play short?
Heck yeah, 9998.
Oh, then I looked at this wrong.
That guy's great.
Then they need you know what? It's got everybody in weird stuff for spring training, and I'm goofy and stupid and screwed it up. Okay, I don't know what they need. They need a lot of things though, because they're not great.
Can I make a really bad joke here? Lee needs to get his house in order. Is what he needs to do.
Well, his house is almost not underwater anymore. I think it's not underwater anymore. I think he has a house that's not flooded.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's just cruel. That's not even a bad joke. That's just mean.
Yeah, Lee's had some shit going on. So, but I just, if there was a thing that you could get out of this free agency, it was cheap depth relievers. They were everywhere.
Yeah.
And so to
he
be
went for the expensive depth relievers.
Right, to overpay for the depth relievers, pretty bad.
But you play one of those third basemen at first base, and that solves that problem. I mean, you still don't have a shortstop, but his outfield's okay.
Yeah,
his outfield's actually pretty damn good.
This is a team that's close. That's why That's why I don't if your team's nowhere near close and you don't have a great free agency, I don't give a shit. But
it's important for you to have a good one.
Yeah, right. And, it's Lee, though, so he's never going to have a good free agency because he doesn't believe in free agencies or trades. Which isn't, I don't either, right? I don't trade or sign stuff in free agency, so I'm not saying that that's wrong. It's just that he's not really active there, so it's really not shocking. Mm-hmm. I think we're going to finish with a thud, because the last division we have to go through, it's not real exciting outside of Boise, right?
Nope. Well, in Boise,
I would say, was Boise even that exciting?
Well, for Dave Wilfer, I had that if I made the Nunez the buffet earlier, Wilfer's got the full dining room set sticking out of him right now.
Poor Dave Wilfer.
I don't know, man. For $3 million though, whatever.
Dave Wilfer. Him and Don Draper. If I could have made room for one of those guys, I would have signed him gladly, but I couldn't, so I didn't.
Yeah, and look at Jorge Ortiz. There's your middling starter. The only one that we've talked about this whole freaking time, and he only got $5 million.
It's true.
Yeah.
Cargo, I don't know what to think about it. It's not a bad deal.
I don't hate it.
I don't know why he is in Boise, but on the other hand, you have to get some better players and win at some point. So,
I don't know if Cargo's your guy though. Have you seen that park?
Well, it's a Brett Schrader special.
Yeah, it sure is.
Well, and also, that division. If he can make noise in that division's not great.
I don't think. Cargo.
I don't think he can make noise. But you know what my needs for this team are? Yikes! Exclamation point. That's what it says. It says they don't need first base.
Yeah, because they got Godzilla.
They've got a couple. They've got a couple mid-rotation starters. That's my. I don't even have that's the things they have. So.
Mid-rotation starters. Those are all my guys you're talking about there. Maxence Mace, Chris Rios.
Yep. Both of whom have settled in kind of a level below what we thought they could be.
Yep.
But
Brad, I didn't finish the pitching thing this year, but Maxence Mace threw so many pitches.
He did 255. Good freaking guy.
Well, but I mean, and he is gonna. I can't do the spread. I can't do the totals because I didn't. Like I said, I didn't finish everybody because I had a lot of shit going on. But he is gonna probably be in the top 4 most abused in the last 5 years.
He's 2036's.
Well, when
what
you
the hell
have
is that?
Absolutely rudderless team.
Yes.
Because this is Al's the 4th or 5th guy in charge of Boise since Brett.
Well, let's see. We've had Schrader. We had
a bunch of other guys.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a bunch. This is how you get pitcher abuse because nobody's in charge of the team and they just
He's got a guy named Hungry Dank on his team. That's kind of cool.
Where's this dude?
Starting pitcher, Hungry Dank.
I can't read apparently. Oh, there he is.
I mean, that's kind of neat.
I don't know.
He has a whole lot of pitchers on his team that used to play for me. Kuntz, Longoria, Stanford Chase.
Well, it's because you traded them all when you ripped Brett
No,
off
I didn't. I only
Compton.
Mason Ortiz or Mason Rios are the only guys I traded to him. The rest of them just migrated.
Weren't Mason? Wasn't one of those guys an expansion pick?
Mace was expansion. Rios I traded in the Compton deal, I believe.
Mace was the top expansion pick, wasn't he?
Number 1. He was 6'8" at the time.
I think Boise got better. I really do. I think they got to figure out they got to salvage something. You're right. That park stuff is going to really hurt him with Cargo, and I don't blame Al for not
knowing.
Yeah, but if he starts off hot, they need to find somebody that can take him and fit that contract. But they got to start getting better sometime. So I like this. They'll win a few more games.
Well, and the salaries aren't the Cargo deal. As much as we're knocking it, it's short relatively.
We'd rather have him or Chang.
3 years.
It's
in Boise, Chang.
And if you look at I don't know what their cash is, but their salary, they got 67 this year, 61 next year, and 64 the year after.
From a league standpoint, I like to see a GM getting his feet wet like this, rather than making a trade that all of a sudden on the boards everyone is like, "What the fuck?"
Right. Actually, Cargo's one of the first guys to sign, and Randy and I were talking about it, and he was like, "Hey, what you think?" And my initial thought was I would love to see a new GM come into the league and not go spend a shit ton of money in free agency. But because it seems to happen so often on bad deals, but really this one.
Well, the thing is, he's got Cargo playing in center. That's a bad idea.
Does he, or did the game default him back to center field when he?
Well, he's got him listed there on his roster as a center fielder.
Yeah, but did the game swap that, or did he swap it?
I don't know.
He's got him playing there in his spring training roster.
Well, he might just be doing it to.
He also does not have anyone who can actually play center field on his spring training roster.
Well,
not a single person. 5 range. Actually, Cargo has his best outfield range on his whole spring training roster.
This will end poorly. Okay.
The thing is, but the shitty thing is that's going to make the Cargo deal look worse because his WAR is going to be severely depressed by.
But he'll get if he just plays 162 games there, he'll get 1.7 free WAR.
Not if he gets negative 20 zone.
No, it's free no matter what. That's the reason the positional ratings are garbage. Not to go into my other rant and diatribe, it's no matter what. And so he might be minus 30 runs there, but because of the adjustment, as far as WAR is, it knocks out half of it. And I'm not saying the adjustments don't need to be there. They do need to be there. They just need to be more dynamic, not just a static. You played this position, you get this much. They need to be dynamic, related to current. I don't know.
Fred, he has a center fielder. Look at Dennis French.
Dennis French is ready to go too. Yeah, Dennis French. First overall pick last year, right?
I was just looking at his spring training roster.
Yeah, but that dude can play in the majors right now.
I don't know that I would. I think I'd leave him in
AAA?
double or AAA this year because Boise's so bad and he's legit. Even me, the guy who's like, stop tanking and play your players, doesn't think that you have to bring Dennis French into the league this year.
But I mean, if I wouldn't kill him if he did.
No,
I wouldn't bring him up. No way. Single A last season. I'd bump him up to Double A to start.
Well, he shouldn't have been in Single A last season. That's
no
part
way.
of the problem. Like when you
Look at 2.8 WAR in 40 games of rookie ball.
Yeah, he played 40 games in rookie ball. So this is part of the problem. Is that when he was drafted, he was we can't even tell what he was when he was drafted because it's somewhere in between the 4 and the 9 that he got to in 1 year. But I believe he was something like a 6 contact 4 power player. You don't put 6 contact in rookie ball.
No,
that's just a waste and stupid.
well, you can start him there. Like guys at draft, if I get a 6 contact guy at draft, I'll play him there for 2 sims and then move him up.
Sure. Okay. But you don't leave him there for 40 damn games. And then when he puts up 2.8 WAR, we don't want to push him too fast. We'll go to short A.
I'd have this guy in spring training for sure though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
absolutely.
cheesy, just give him some positional flexibility if nothing else.
Right, just go play him in the corner outfield spot
Well,
for a
the
little
thing
while.
is, though, I mean, like we just established, he doesn't have a center fielder, so French is going to be your center fielder. He doesn't really need any flexibility.
Well, but they may as well know how to play the other spots.
Everyone needs flexibility.
Yep, agreed.
Because in 2 years when his range is 7, you'll wish you'd played him in right field during spring training.
Right, so that you don't have to make all the. I think that's one of the reasons when your Brett, Randy and I were arguing about the positional conversion stuff.
Yeah.
If you're managing your players in what I believe to be correctly, which I know I'm an arrogant piece of shit, you'll never need that reward because
That's
they're always going to be qualified as best they are at the lower positions, almost always. Because it doesn't take very long anymore. You can play if you play that dude in spring training for 10 games with an 8 center field rating, he'll be 6 in left field.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
It's so fast now. So if you've got a guy that's 35 and waning at third base and you want to move them to say first and they're rated 1 or 0 at first, someone screwed up along the way. You shouldn't have done that. Someone somewhere along the line should have fixed that already. So I'm not saying that it's not a reason to have that reward. It's why I don't think of the fact that it could be useful is because I've already done it with all my players. So,
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. But there's your center field solution. So Boise does have one.
I wouldn't have him in the majors this year.
It'd be such a waste this year. That's the thing is that there are. I don't believe in not doing stuff to not start the ARB clock, but I think that's a case where you legitimately can make that argument. Boise has no chance, and he'd be 19. It's not like there's no chance and he's 24. He's 19 years old, only has 5 power.
No, I mean
Why?
But they don't need to go out hunting for one in a long-term solution.
Right. Calgary. Calgary's in trouble this year, I think. Because I don't think they solved their pitching woes from last year because they needed mid-rotation starters, which didn't exist.
Well,
needed
they traded one away.
Noonien Suit's garbage. He is hot. He's not even hot garbage. He's cold garbage. The pile has ceased to steam. So, he has a 5 fastball.
Soon?
I don't care what your stuff is. If your fastball is 5,
Yeah, it's a 5.
yeah, just you're not. If you have a fastball and it's 5, I don't want you. It's you're gonna throw that pitch a decent amount. Calgary didn't sign anybody. They only had $5 million. I don't know that I can blame Kevin for not signing anybody with $5 million. And what was he gonna do, right?
Yeah, they rule 5 drafted a bunch of guys, but that's not this podcast. So.
Right. That's not any podcast, really. It's
It'd be the most boring podcast on the planet.
They brought back
this guy could be
Dan Leonard.
a platoon bat.
Here's-
Edmonton.
Hooray.
Edmonton signed Luis Soto. Edmonton when I look at this, they only had glaring needs at second base and shortstop. What the hell? Edmonton's terrible. I mean, I know they've got better players, but I shouldn't be saying that they only a team that's losing 100 game every year should not only have 2 goals in their lineup.
Preseason predictions, they're going to win 90.
That's right. I'm gonna win 65 this year. So
Yeah. But they brought back Luis Soto. I don't know if that really makes him better, but they didn't pay much. Who cares?
I think Robillard even said in his articles, he's like, I didn't think Soto would take this deal, but he did, so why not?
Dude,
Right.
Robillard has just got to be so pumped about this team's lineup right now.
He needs to
One
trade an
thing on
outfielder, though,
Edmonton,
right?
I did not realize
Yes.
that Bobby Lynch had lumped a point of movement.
Bobby
Yeah, no,
Lynch.
it's not a point of movement. Bobby Lynch, that's the more important. Like, that's way more important than the phrase. He's lumped across the board. Well, he didn't lump his,
not
he didn't lump his
not
control.
Yes, but everything
That,
else.
oh, God, I hope that's not... Like, I hope this is just like the waffling, you know, like he's right on the border and he just hasn't pitched much, so he's kind of
Yep.
fading a little. Like, I don't want to see Bobby Lynch be an early flame out.
No.
That would be poor.
Yeah.
That would be
But
poor.
And I know movement is probably the least important of the three,
Nope.
but 5 is
I hate you.
correct.
Did you really
Yeah,
say that with a
correct.
straight face? Yeah, like I was gonna come over there and just find. I'm just gonna punch you in the balls.
No,
For
no,
like hours.
No,
Obliterate.
I mean, for me, who said that? I forget. Somebody said that. I forget who it was. But for me, I mean, obviously, if you look at my pitching staff, I don't value control. So,
Yeah, I actually think stuff's the least valuable.
well, I disagree with you on that one.
I think if you have enough, I would. If you told me I could have, if you told me I had a 6, a 9, and an 8, I would go 6,
6, 9,
6
8.
stuff, 9 movement, 8 control.
Yes, sir.
Like,
Randy.
because the hits will be singles.
I'll take my 6,
And I'll-
8, 8 and have it be Ernie Kinney and have him crush the whole league. Thanks.
You're not 6,
Ted.
8, 8. You don't get 2. Well,
Or
I
6,
think
9,
you
8,
can
yeah.
argue about stuff and control to some degree, but like not giving up home runs is just good. So can we agree
I
that
don't
low
mind giving up.
movement?
See, I'll give up solo home runs all day long.
Can we agree that low movement, low control is awful? Because
Yes.
you give up home runs with men on base.
I don't want to
Yes.
give up any home runs.
Except if you're John Reed, then it's okay.
0 home runs is the amount of home runs I want to give up ever.
Right. None.
Always.
Seattle. This division was nothing after Boise. Seattle signed Jose Souza.
That's a lot of money for a setup guy.
Sure is.
Which
And a
is-
player option in the third year.
Yeah, and Seattle had a bunch of pitchers anyway, so it's kind of odd. You know what's sad? You know what makes me really sad? Among my needs, Seattle needs a first baseman. And that's just sad to me. Goodbye, Juan Escobar.
What about Pat Crum?
Pat Crum is
Pete
less
Crum.
less than exciting, right? Here's another one: six contact, 5 5 ABK righty. He is not going to be a good player. He might be okay, but that's about it. Hack. His nickname is exactly what it is. He will be a hack.
Perfect.
But like Escobar's still a useful DH, right? At this point.
He's getting there.
For now. For this week.
Yeah. He's only sevens now.
Next
so.
week, who knows?
But he's had a good long run, so it's just it's always sad to see it come to an end. Vancouver, for Vancouver, let's all take a moment and we should all go to Vancouver and we should click the Meet the Team button.
All right, hold on a second.
I'm excited for this. For the
Go to home and then meet the team and then look at those league ranks.
Nice.
Hold on, I'm getting there.
That's a lot of bad
That's a lot.
numbers.
That's a lot
How is
out of
Scott
red.
Harper the 22nd best first baseman?
Because Scott Harper sucks.
Oh, because first base is like there's a lot of good first basemen. They're just all tied up on teams.
Was it
Are you still not there, Randy?
I got to Vancouver now. I'm clicking on the meet the team.
He's
page.
bad at this.
I'm dealing with hotel internet here.
Okay, that's fair. Richardo Mene is a good player.
He is. I tried to trade for him when Joe was around, but he said no. So then I stopped.
That's about it, right? Like
Close
after
to
that,
Popo.
yeah. After that, their next best player is the 15th best. I know the OTP, the OSA ranks aren't perfect, but like when the meet the team thing, like your average team rank is what are we looking at here? 24th on average.
Fred, I think Hotha Popo needs to catch Poto Tornatore.
That's true. That's true. Popo and Poto. Come on. It's a match made in heaven right there.
So what I realized when I was doing this is my catcher. I know Vancouver didn't sign anyone.
Well, hey, we said we'd have 20 minutes to ramble at the end of a 2-hour podcast.
Hey, we're right there.
So we're doing names now, and I want you. I know I've mentioned this before, but I'm going to do it again because people have either forgotten or didn't listen.
Is this
but
Heedy Veidman?
I have an all Dutch battery on some days.
Attaboy.
When Heedy Veidman gets catches stuff from Newt Zietler.
The Orange Army, baby. You got to get your fans wearing orange those days.
But what I didn't realize is
jelly.
that I think Heedy Veidman has a brother in the league. There's a Henny Veidman, and he's a terrible pitcher. But I really need to go get Henny.
Probably.
So that
probably should.
Yeah, that's important. That's what I've got.
Offie would be excited about that.
Offie, I don't know. Well, not really. I don't think the Germans and the Dutch they
hate each other.
Yeah, they invaded their country a few times. Just walked right through them like they didn't matter.
Thing and
yeah. So, although Offie's descended from Offie's a nice guy, but his grandparents were Nazis in Argentina, so I never got to that part of the backstory.
If you believe in that kind of thing.
Right.
Unsubstantiated rumors and U-boats in the ocean and shit. Secret jungle bases.
So, winners and losers for the Frick. I think I established who I thought the loser was. I think Vancouver... Why didn't Vancouver spend... Oh, Vancouver has no money. That's really shocking. That's what's even more frightening. So, Valencia, I think, had the worst free agency, but Vancouver has, the team that they have it's awful.
Yeah,
has an $80 million...
Brett kind of left them in a bad spot.
$80 million payroll. They have an $80 million payroll.
Holy fuck. Do you see they're still paying Bertram Hahn for the next 3 years?
Yeah.
That's because he was desperate to dump
I know, because Joe was so
Yeah, and he was wrong. Bertram Hahn's a fine player. Was he overpaid? Yes, but it's not at all shocking that he went back to somewhere that actually wanted to play him and wasn't a bad team, and now he's fine again.
Yeah, he did pretty good for Jacksonville.
Yep.
Or
maybe he just can only play in Jacksonville. I suppose that's possible. But this is the reason why you never have pitchers parks, because you can't sell your players, and it just makes batters suck. And every time you pay for it, just don't do it. No pitchers parks for anyone ever, or at least extreme ones.
Yeah, I was gonna say mine's a pitchers park, but it's light.
Right. That's fine. But yeah, not like the extreme. Nobody can hit your pitchers park. It's just terrible.
Well, I'm happy in that case that Brett stole my idea for the Vancouver Park with the giant 900-foot wall in right field or left field or wherever field. Right.
It's actually just up against a mountain. They dug their stadium into the side of a mountain. So
I like Des Moines. We're going way back to the beginning of the Frick, but I like Des Moines.
I think the Frick free agency, there wasn't a whole lot of moving. There wasn't a lot of exciting. I agree. I thought Des Moines did a good job. They might be my winner.
I'm always happy to see Ed do good things.
Yeah,
I think he's the one guy that the whole league just kind of roots for.
We've given Ed the best award a few times on here, Ted, too. We always seem to like what he does in free agency, and then they're still not good.
Well, I think Ed's not had good teams. And what happens if you have a not good team and you have a good free agency? Most of the time, you still have a not good team. Free agency can't make you a good team.
Phoenix.
Yeah.
Moving on. Continue.
Wait, what?
Nothing.
Okay.
I was just throwing shade at a division mate who made a good signing.
I guess if we're talking good free agencies, also Boise, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't like that Carlos Gonzalez deal at all. I think that he's just going to go and die in that park.
What if it was me? What if I had signed that deal? No, I wouldn't do that. But if I was going to my park, he'd be fine. He'd be great. He'd be a 12-win player. I got almost 50 home runs out of 90-year-old Fernando Moreno last year. All right. Well, anybody got any thoughts? Are we wrapping it up here?
I like Des Moines. I think Long Beach did okay, but not great.
Yeah. I thought this was a pretty good free agent class, which is why I'm kind of surprised that I don't have like huge winners and losers.
You don't have stronger feelings about it.
Right.
Nobody had any really, really dumb signings.
Well, no. And it, from a having strong feelings one way or the other, the fact that San Antonio signed all of the guys kind of, you're like, you either hate what he did or you love what he did, and we're kind of meh on him, so we're kind of meh on the whole class because he signed most of the big names, right?
Right, like he potentially made all the mistakes he might not have, but like there weren't other ones left to be made. That's possible. I don't think, for the record, I don't think he did. I think he did what he did. I think what he did was fine. It's not how I would have allocated the money differently, but I think
if you want to say loser, maybe Hawaii, just because I don't think any of their guys are any good.
But he didn't commit any money to him.
That's what I'm saying. But I mean, he didn't commit a lot of money to a lot of guys.
Yeah, but he didn't pay like $4 or $5 million to middling relievers.
Yeah, Valencia had a bad.
Yeah, but this is good. We're dithering over who the worst is. It's not obvious.
Yeah,
which is great.
Hooray!
Yeah.
I don't think any of these would be in consideration for worse than previous years.
No, there have been some bad shit in the past, so this is pretty good. Okay, well, I am going to find record buttons and hit them and save things so I don't lose all of these. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Thanks, Fred. Thanks, Randy, for being here.
No worries.
Thanks for having us.